Welcome to Teed Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today on Teed Up, we talk NBA, preview Week 8 of the NFL, give our best bets, and talk some World Series. I'm Malik, and I'm Teed Up.
All right, the NBA is officially back. Regular season started 2 nights ago. We had the Pelicans versus the Raptors tip-off. Saw the ring ceremony. We saw Kyle Lowry's thick ass get a ring. You saw the videos. They were all making fun of him. Yeah. That was hilarious. We saw Fred VanVleet drop like fucking gazillion points again. We had the Clippers and the Lakers. So we'll start with that game since that's the talk of the town right now. LeBron claimed that this game wasn't a rivalry game, but the Clippers said otherwise. Pat Bev was talking his talk. Kawhi had a phenomenal game. The Clippers won by 10. And the Lakers just didn't really look that threatening. Danny Green had 28 points, had a really good performance, and Anthony Davis as well. He showed up to play. But the Lakers just kind of aren't on that level yet. And it's kind of crazy to think about that the Clippers are, like, that's not even the full Clippers team. They're still getting Paul George back, who was a top 3 MVP candidate last year. He's arguably one of the best two-way players in the game. He's probably second best behind, third best behind Giannis and Kawhi. Yeah. But, he's top 3 two-way players in the game. And they're going to add him. And, man, that depth looked crazy to me. I mean, they had all their bench players stepping up. Landry Shamet was showing up. He was draining things. That's his nickname in Philly. Well, I don't know if I can still call him that. He's not in Philly anymore, but yeah. I mean, Kev, how did you feel? I mean, you're a Lakers guy. You were excited about Anthony Davis and LeBron. Does that loss kind of demotivating, or do you think they're gonna get him back on track?
Man, I know that playoff LeBron is a whole different animal, and you could just tell that in this game he was very disengaged, and he's trying to pace himself. He's trying to save his energy for when it really matters. And he let the Hyena Clippers get this game because he know what he's going to do come postseason.
You think he's saving himself in Game 1, though? I mean, that's opening day, rivalry game in L.A. They're basically at home. They're at Staples Center. That's the game to save yourself already?
Yeah, he doesn't care about the regular season. You can tell he was playing through Anthony Davis. I'm not sure why he would do the fans such a disservice. Basically, it was a horrible performance in a really hyped up game, so he don't care about the fans like that.
I mean, it's interesting. The Lakers, I mean, LeBron does go through that motions. He did that with the Cavs a lot, but I think he kind of did that last year too, and then realized, like, we're beat out of the playoffs. Like, we're not going to make the playoffs. So I definitely expected a different mentality from him coming into this game. And granted, it's still really early in the year. Things could change. They have a home game versus the Jazz tomorrow, so that could be the game where we see LeBron go off, but I don't know. I think LeBron, honestly, it's like I said, it's too early to say. I don't want to be that guy, but missing a step. He's getting old. This guy isn't Tom Brady. It's not like he just throws a football. NBA, basketball in general is a very athletic game, so him running up and down the court all those years, having those extra seasons because of the playoff games, I think is starting to wear a toll on him. He just doesn't look the same. I mean, he was trying to shoot a lot of things, and he got a couple decent shots in, but that's not the LeBron we know and love.
That's the exact reason why he's saving himself for the playoffs. He was trying to get AD involved a little too much the season opener. But, bro, LeBron doesn't care about the regular season. He's too old to be trying to put his all in for the regular season and do that times 2 for the playoffs. Like, it's not going to happen. He's saving himself for the playoffs.
I mean, the Lakers, they got to make the playoffs. Granted, they should, but if LeBron's going to be, getting load management, I'm sure him and AD are going to have set games off as is. They probably won't play back-to-backs and stuff. Those wins got to come in somewhere, and beating good teams is a really good step to do it. I guess one thing I will say, if they do play the Clippers in the playoffs, it doesn't matter because, they share the same court, so it's not like he's going to be losing home field advantage or anything like that. Yeah. But you still want to win those games. You still want to start making some noise. You want to kind of follow through on that hype. You want to ride that train motion as a team. And right now, I think they're going to get derailed. I know the Lakers fans are already pissed off. They're already asking for Contavious Caldwell-Pope to be cut. They're already upset about no Rondo, no Kuzma. And I don't know, man. Lakers, it's going to be a long season. But for good or worse, it's going to be a long season. Let's get into the Nets game, though. They played the Timberwolves. They lost in overtime. But Kyrie, he had 50 points and a missed game winner. That was kind of the story of this game. Karl Anthony Towns, I want to give a shout-out to him. He looked phenomenal. He was shooting the lights out from 3. He was posting up, having a really good game, and he just looked like a different kind of beast. His shot and kind of his whole perimeter game now just seems drastically improved. If that's something that he worked on in the offseason, Timberwolves could be a threat. I still think Wiggins is the best worst player in the league, or the worst best player, whichever way you want to put it.
He's definitely not the worst best player. No one counts him as the best.
Not the best, but I'm saying he's like a worse version of a good player, or he's the best version of a bad player. Like, he's just kind of like
he's just bad.
He's just slightly below average, but he's also good at times. So it's weird. Wiggins is a whole thing. You know what I mean? He's just, you really never know what you're gonna get with him.
Nets don't really have a team though, so
they really don't.
So it's not like
I've been saying that.
Towns, like, you would expect Towns to eat against a team like the Nets.
They got two good bigs though, in DeAndre Jordan and Jared Allen. Good defensive bigs.
Jordan didn't really. He barely played.
I knew that. I mean, DeAndre Jordan was on the Knicks. I knew he wasn't going to be a factor at all. Like, they just bought him in just because he's their boy.
So it's just it was basically just Jared Allen.
The Nets, I think, got a serious problem because no Kevin Durant is, I guess the expectations are low for this season as is, but I mean, their second best player right now is Caris LeVert. And, like, that's pretty bad.
No one cares about this season. They're just waiting for everyone's just waiting for KD to come back next year.
Yeah, They're not
expecting the Nets to go far this season at all.
But Kyrie, he was the talk of the town. He was playing some straight Rutgers basketball. I guess that's why he went to Brooklyn. He was just playing street ball out there, crossing people over, pulling up for three, just basically having the time of his life. He was playing a little selfish, but, I mean, it's his team. He could do whatever he wants, and I think Nets fans are okay with that. They just want to see some entertainment. We might have to go to Barclays soon together and check out some games. Last year the Nets games were cheap. You could go for like $10. But now we might have to pay a little premium to see Kyrie play. But it might be worth it. So we'll see. Let's get into the Sixers and Celtics. Ty, how did you feel about your Celtics performance? They hung in there in the first half, but after that, Sixers kind of just took over.
The refs.
I mean, this was a poor officiating game from the start. But, I mean, we clearly knew what to expect going into this game. The Sixers are the way better team. Like, they're probably going to go to the finals this year. So I didn't really expect us to win this game in the first place. I like we came out playing in the first half, but then, Tatum, Kemba Walker, they didn't really have a good performance. So I'm expecting them to have a better game on Friday. Tomorrow, bounce back. But that game overall, you got Ben Simmons. He was going crazy. The Sixers looking very good.
How you feel about Jaylen Brown? You think he's gonna have a better game next week? I couldn't even say it straight. I'm sorry. They paid this man $115 million, bro.
So you only got 20 minutes too.
He's definitely gonna have a better game.
You think he? All right, we'll see.
It's the first game of the season, bad game, first game against a good team. Like, they didn't play a bad team or nothing like that. They didn't play the Wolves, they didn't play the Spurs. Like, they played the team probably going to the finals this year. So, I mean, not much to expect. We're not supposed to be that team this year. We're going to be a good team, but we're supposed to lose this game.
One thing I do want to say about the Sixers, Josh Richardson looked great. Like, that man is a hound.
I was telling everybody in the summer what Josh Richardson is about, and no one believed me.
I believe you.
They said, this guy isn't this, and he's not a big guy. I said, listen, you bring in Josh, and now that's going to make up for that loss in Jimmy Butler.
I don't know about that. I don't know about it.
Literally. That's what I was telling niggas. People, and they were just like, listen, oh no, Josh Richardson not a big deal. Who is Josh Richardson? This? That boy is crazy. He locks up. He shoots threes. That's a very good player. You can insert him on any team, and he'd be a savage.
I think Josh Richardson's pretty good on the defensive end. That's what I'm talking about. He's kind of just a hound. He was tormenting Jason Tatum. He was tormenting Cantor for a little bit as well. It's interesting to see. And he was just all over the place on the defensive end. Offensively, I think the Sixers have a problem with shooting. We were talking about it in the preseason podcast over the summer when we were talking about the Sixers. Ty, you said that Al Horford and Richardson can make up for it, but I don't think so. I think they really need an actual shooter, maybe a guy off the bench who they could just slap in from time to time.
They got Tobias. That's a shooter.
He is a shooter, but I think Max is
40-90. I don't understand, or close enough.
I don't understand.
That's shooter stuff.
They need a lethal guy. Like JJ Redick was pivotal for them when he was on the Sixers. So with the loss of JJ Redick, that's definitely gonna suck a little bit. I think they're gonna have to find someone to really make up for that because I don't know. Watching that game, they got easy buckets for sure, but the spacing was just not there, and that's a flaw that I think will continue. And, the Celtics didn't even have a real center. Cantor played well, but, not well enough defensively. I think really they need some guy. Maybe they could get a guy in like off a trade, or maybe they pick up J.R. Smith or something, but they need some sort of threat to make some noise. Let's preview the two games tonight. We got the Rockets and the Bucks, and we also got the Celtics versus the Warriors. Kev, how do you feel about both these games? Are any of the spreads eye-popping to you or anything like that?
Well, tonight, I'd have to say if you force me to bet, I would take Pistons -1.5. I would take Bucks +1.5, and I would take the Clippers. So starting with the Pistons, I don't know, man. I'm kind of liking what they got going. Drummond seems like he's getting his head together. I don't know if that was just that one game, but Atlanta, that's a pretty young team. I feel like they're really liable to make a lot of mistakes. Trae Young, he's good, but he's never been really efficient. And as for the Bucks and Rockets, I feel like the Rockets, they got a lot of stuff that they got to get together. Like Westbrook just be standing in the corner while Harden is dancing, and Westbrook is not Gerald Green. Like, I think Westbrook is better off running the second unit, maybe coming off the bench.
Hold on.
I don't want Harden and Westbrook on at the same time. That's
I feel you on that,
Tony
but
got to figure out.
I feel you on that, but Westbrook coming off the bench.
No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying you got to play him to his strengths, and that's when he has the ball in his hands.
Nah, I get what you're saying, but that will never happen. Westbrook will not let that slide.
But it might be better for the team, but
it could
I feel like they're going to figure that out.
I think Westbrook and Harden, it might take a little while to figure out, but I do know that Westbrook, he's probably going to lead transition breaks.
Take a step down.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be a spot-up shooter that we think he's going to be, just because that's how Chris Paul played. I think Westbrook and Harden are going to have a decent connection, though, because Harden's going to be more of a perimeter guy now, more of a shooting guard, and Westbrook's going to take over the point guard duties for better or worse. I think Harden's one of the best passers in the league, so that might be something that is interesting to see, but with Harden being kind of more of a shooting guard, I expect him to just get his, and Westbrook, he could just crash the paint and kick it out to one of the 4 shooters that they got on the team. And depending on what the unit is, if Capella's in or not, should be interesting to see him kick it out to Eric Gordon, Harden, Austin Rivers, the likes of that. The Clippers and Warriors game, that's definitely interesting. Kev, you said you like the Clippers in this game. You're not worried about Steph and D'Lo?
Nah, man. I feel like the Clippers, they're perfect to guard guards. When it was the Clippers versus the Lakers, I saw the liability in the Clippers defense because they don't really have any solid bigs like that. And Zubac, he definitely had single-digit points. He wasn't doing good. Like, that whole starting unit for the Clippers, I wasn't liking it because the Lakers were so big. But when it comes to a team like the Warriors, where they got that 1-2 punch in the guards, I feel like Patrick Beverly is perfect to be guarding Steph because he can exert all his energy in the defensive side because we don't got to worry about Bev getting any points. So I just feel like the Clippers are perfect to contain Steph and D'Lo.
Malik, that's your boy D'Lo. That's Malik's favorite player.
He had a D'Lo in at the end. He ain't guarding D'Lo. D'Lo dropping a quick 30 on his head.
Well, I'm saying Kawhi might be on D'Lo.
If Kawhi's on D'Lo, it's slow. He's having he's dropping 4 points and maybe 2 assists. But Kawhi, I don't think Kawhi's gonna. Actually, he might.
Kawhi,
yeah. Team played the Nets last year, and D'Lo typed it one off.
He did, but Kawhi wasn't on D'Lo.
Kawhi was just chilling.
To be honest, Kawhi was chilling that game.
And Lowry was getting.
I don't remember who he was guarding.
Small forward for Warriors.
Right now, I think it's gonna be Glenn Robinson, but I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of up in air right now. I mean, the small forward, they're probably just gonna have Looney guard Kawhi. They're not really worried about Montrez. I mean, I think they're just gonna play it safe. I think the Warriors this whole season, they're gonna be a really good offensive team because they all got quick triggers. They're all really good at what they do from shooting-wise, and I think defensively they're just going to be a mess. That Warriors defense that we know, when they used to be switching all the time and they were eating on pick and rolls and stuff, other teams' pick and rolls, that's going to be gone just because they don't have Clay, who's arguably one of the best defenders in the NBA, And without KD, just that vertical length that he has, he could just guard the paint himself. That's not going to be there anymore. I do think with Cauley Stein and Marquise Chris, I don't know if Marquise Chris is playing tonight. They're still going to have really good interior defense, but, Steph and D'Lo, that's kind of a perimeter wet dream for other teams with good shooters.
My bet, man.
What, you got
the D'Lo, man.
If
Kawhi is guarding D'Lo, man.
Hey, you got the threes, though, so who cares? Let's get into some NFL, though. We got the Thursday night game tonight, the Vikings and the Redskins. I'm going to be honest, if you're watching this game tonight, I don't know, you deserve, NFL should send you, a goodie bag or something like that.
Go get something else to do, man. This game is not that important.
This is the Kirk Cousins revenge game, so, he used to be on the Redskins, so I guess that's cool. One thing I will say, I do like the Vikings home crowd. Their home games are pretty cool. Just the fans are really into it. They got a good... I don't even know what you really call it. They just got a good thing going on there. It's kind of like Saints home games. Yeah, like when Saints are playing at home, the fans are into it. Energy. The crowd's loud. Yeah. The game's just a good game to watch. But Vikings kind of got the same thing. They do have no Thielen tonight, so that kind of sucks. One of the best wide receivers in football. He won't be there, but they still got Diggs, and they still got that offensive attack, plus Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook can make anything happen. But, yeah, if you're watching this game tonight, unless you have a large amount of money on either side, I don't know.
Do something else.
Yeah, the NFL, they should really send you a care package of clothes and stuff. Thank you for watching, a mug.
A mug.
Because, I don't know. The spread right now is Vikings minus 16, which is pretty steep. But, the Redskins suck and the Vikings are good at home. So I guess it makes sense. I'm not going to watch this game, honestly. If the Vikings are minus 8 or something, now I'd be betting the game and I'd watch it. But besides that, we're just going to see. I'm not going to care too much. The Pats and the Browns. So this is going to be an interesting game. Jarvis Landry, he promised that the Browns are going to win. He said, we're just going to win. That's what he's saying. I don't know what the coach is thinking. I don't know what Baker Mayfield's thinking. But Jarvis Landry said, we're going to win. Just watch us. I do think the Browns keep it interesting. They had the bye week. Their offensive scheme could get better. They got a good run game. I don't know if the Pats... the Pats have just been feasting on bad teams, so I think this is going to be the best team the Pats have played all year. Granted, the Browns aren't great or anything, but they're going to be the best team that the Pats have played all year, which is sad, but it's true. Malik, you're not buying anything on the Browns, even with the bye week? You're a huge Browns hater, though.
Bro. I'm not a Browns hater. I've been saying this. I'm from Cleveland. I'm not a Browns hater. I want to see them do good. But as long as Baker's on that team, I'll never respect him. I do not want Baker as that QB. He sucks. He's not a good QB. It took him half a season to find out how to stop him. That's embarrassing. Not even half a season. What, 5 games?
6.
He played 6? All right. So, it took him half a season to find out how to contain this guy. That's embarrassing.
George, on our last podcast, he was a guest for the last show. He basically predicted the outcome of the game for the Monday night game between the Jets and the Pats.
Bro.
He said the Jets or Sam Darnold was going to have 5 turnovers. We were like, oh, come on, George. The Pats defense is good, but it's not it's not ferocious. But he was right. So credit to George on the last show. He got that game down pat. The Jets just Sam Darnold said it. They had him on a mic'd up thing. He said, I'm seeing ghosts out here, which is you can't have your quarterback say he's seeing ghosts. He's a professional quarterback for the NFL. He said,
I'm seeing ghosts. Bro,
that's bad. That's bad, man. If Danny Dimes said that, trade block. Get his ass to the Jaguars. Yeah, I can't take that from a franchise QB.
Thanks,
you got to battle through that.
You're not supposed to be saying that.
But yeah, the Pats, that's their thing right now. They're kind of getting carried by the defense, so I do think the Browns could have some hope. They could go to Foxborough. I don't think they're going to win, but we'll get into the best bets on my opinion on that game.
Hey man, I want to see the Browns win.
I want to see. I would love to see them beat the Pats. That would be that'd be like a wet dream for me. That'd be great.
I'd love to see that.
That would be insane.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Chiefs Packers. So Malik,
another one.
They're making Mahomes practice. You don't think he's got a chance to play?
Mahomes is not going to play. If he does, I wouldn't be completely surprised. But bro, Mahomes is hurt. They're not going to risk his career. They know how special this kid is. He's not going to play. I get you're going against Aaron Rodgers. This is like a matchup everyone wants to see. Yeah, it's like a duel, but come on now. You rather have him go crazy in this game, potentially get hurt, and then he's done for the season and could hurt his career. Bro, it's not that serious. It's not worth it. If you want to win a ring, unless they don't care, unless they're just trying to win a ring this year, get that ring, and like, all right, if we go back to being trash, I'm fine with that. But
you want to get a dynasty out of Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think they'll play him. They're gonna treat him like a baby.
Well, we said it like last podcast too. Matt Moore, he's not great, but he took the Dolphins to the playoffs a little bit. So
Bro, Matt Moore is horrible.
gotta
You
give
can't
him
even
some
like
credit.
say that.
No, I know. I mean, I'm not saying with a straight face.
Yeah,
but
it's not like
believe me,
he didn't begin.
He could do his job.
When he took the Dolphins to the playoffs, he didn't
Yeah.
begin that season. Yeah, like
that is
he
true.
played the last couple games and like won the games they needed to win.
We are getting robbed of a really good Sunday night football game because if we
Yeah.
saw Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes,
That would have
that's
been
what we want to see. You know what I mean? That's like we were all waiting all year for this. Last year we saw the Chiefs Rams, how good that game was.
best game I ever seen in my life.
And I think the Packers are kind of this year's Rams. You know what I mean? They're less of the offensive powerhouse that the
Yeah.
Rams were. But I mean, with Aaron Rodgers, you know, that's the big name that everyone wants to see. We're getting robbed of a good game, so it sucks. But I mean, we're still gonna see some Aaron Rodgers, and against that defense, he might have a field day. He might go.
Man, the
I'm thinking
defense was
10
good.
touchdowns.
The defense was good
Drop
last
70.
week, man.
They did do good, and they got that extra time off from Thursday night.
Yeah, so I feel. I mean, if they come out strong, I'm not saying we'll win this game, but if they come out strong. 4 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers is good. 3 to 4. If he's out here throwing, if he threw
low standards, but
bro, he threw 6 last week. So like,
Yeah,
if he throws
that's
like
the
3 or
Raiders.
4, then like, all right, like you won. But if he throws like 6 again, and they have like 2 rushing touchdowns, then yeah, like.
I mean, so otherwise though, this NFL week kind of sucks. Like it's a bunch of
Yeah, it
weird
is.
games. We were gonna talk about the Bills Eagles, but the Eagles, like I know they
Both
kind
teams
of
are-
disappointed me. And plus,
Yeah.
Wentz probably gonna get killed by that defense. He might take like 6 sacks, throw 2 picks. Like he's gonna get killed. That defense is really legit. I can't even lie. The offense for the
Bills?
Bills, yeah, I don't I don't want to get
They're
too
good.
into it because the Bills are good and the
They're a
Eagles
good
are.
defense, not a good
Their,
team.
their defense is good. Josh Allen's okay. He kind of
Yeah.
sucks. Like the stats say he's horrible, but the eye test shows that he does his job. He's a decent quarterback. So I don't know. It's kind of like like analysts hate him. You know what I mean? Like numbers guys, statisticians
I
or
think
whatever.
people hate him too, man. He's not that good.
Bills fans like him.
He'll make a because like
Yeah, I mean-
like, they have to.
Yeah,
it's,
but-
it's what they got.
But sometimes the hardest people on their own quarterback is the team's fans. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when a team hates, like Raiders fans hate Derek Carr, even though Derek Carr to me seems okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, he's all right.
That's because we're talking about the Raiders, bro.
That's
Raiders
true.
fans, they're known for just being assholes.
Hey, my dad's gonna hear that and be upset. Let's get into some World Series action though. So currently the Nats lead 2-0. The Natitude, I'm happy about that. I hate the Astros, man. You know, when the Yankees lost in the fashion that they did, I was just sad. You know, I wasn't even really like upset sad. I was just kind of disappointed because the season seemed so magical, and I thought the Astros were just gonna win it all, and that you know the American League is gonna be tormented by this team. But so far, the Nats are making a statement. You know, without Bryce Harper, they're up 2-0. It's a really good story. You know, I'm sure the MLB is happy about that since they kind of low-key hate Bryce Harper. But, yeah, I mean, the Nats just look good. You know, their pitching's legit. Their offense has awoken. They're just kind of, as Steven Strasburg said, he said that right now he hopes that they could be the buzzsaw team in the playoffs because that happens every year in MLB. There's one team that just runs through the competition. And right now, the Nats have been that team, similar to the Red Sox last year, where the Red Sox just beat everybody in sight. The Nats are kind of that same team right now, and should be interesting to see if they could finish it off because they won both games in Houston. They get 3 games at home now. They should definitely win 1 or 2 of those. And then they go back to Houston for games, or potential, games 6 and 7. So let's go Nats, baby. Hoping the Nats win. I mean, I don't want to see Houston bring home a title. That would just kill me as a Yankees fan. Let's get into our best bets, though. We'll do a quick record recap. We got a lot of bets for you because of the NBA. Quick record recap: Jarny is 6-9. He isn't on the show today. Just busy. He's in Ireland, man. It's hard being in Ireland. I'm 39-28. I think I went 1-2 last week. The Pelicans, that cover was brutal. If you had the Pelicans +7, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you had the Raptors -7, you know what I'm talking about too because you got blessed. Malik's 25-26. He's got a grocery list of bets today. Ty's 22-9, and then Kev's a guest on the show. He had to go, but he has the Clippers -1.5 tonight over the Warriors. He thinks that's a good bet. I'll start off. I got the Rockets -1.5 tonight. I love their spot versus the Bucks. The Bucks are one of the worst teams at guarding the three-pointer. The Rockets are one of the best teams at shooting the three-pointer. Last year when these two teams played, the Rockets just had some sort of edge over the Bucks. They consistently beat the Bucks. I'm not sure why. It's just kind of a mismatch. You know, they're out of division and stuff. The Rockets, Houston's going to be crazy tonight. Right now, Houston's like a good sports town. Everything's going right for them. With the addition of Westbrook, I'm sure it's going to bring a new attitude for this team. I really think this is one of the best bets of the NBA season so far. I really think Houston just rolls through Milwaukee, and I just think it's just going to be an easy win for them. You know, I think, like I said, with 3-point shooting that they have, the home opener, to me, that's worth more than 1.5 points. So this is a cheap line. I thought Houston was going to be like -4.5 or something, but cheap line, they just got to win. I'll take it. Tomorrow for basketball, I got the Celtics -2.5 over the Raptors. The Celtics, they didn't look good versus the Sixers, but they play a lot better at home. And when they're playing at the Garden, that's something that they just usually perform way, way better. The Raptors don't have like a really lethal big. You know, the Celtics put up a good fight versus the Sixers, but they just don't have a big, so that's why they lost. And the Raptors, they got lucky, so I'm ready to fade them. I think the Celtics do a good job here. Then for NFL, I got 3 bets for you. Don't want to tire myself out. I got the Packers -3.5. Think they win this game with no Mahomes. I didn't bet it yet, so if Mahomes is playing, not going to bet that, just saying. So don't bet it until like the night of or Sunday when you get some Mahomes news. I don't think Mahomes is going to play, but if he does, you know, avoid that. I got the Giants +7 versus the Lions. I'm out on Danny Dimes. I don't want to see Danny Dimes anymore. I'm kind of sick of him. But the Lions, they play down to competition constantly. They're a football team where if you're a good team, they'll play you tough. But if you're a bad team, you have a chance to beat them. That's just how the Lions operate. I don't know why or whatever it is. And plus, they've just been losing bad games recently. I think the morale of the team is pretty low. They're 2-4 with a tie. I think that season, you know, they started off tough, but it just didn't pan out. I'm ready to start fading the Lions, and I think the Giants, this is a get-right game for them. Saquon's going to run all over this team. And then the Browns +13. Look, I don't even like this bet that much. But I just want to see it win so bad that I'm going to put money on it. I don't even think it's that good of a bet. I think +13 is kind of eh. I mean, it's the Pats, you know, with that defense that they've had all year. I hope the Browns win, though. I really hope the +13 covers. I think off the bye week it might help. And plus, the Pats are on a short week because they played Monday Night Football. Like I said, I don't even love this bet, but I just want to see it win so bad I'm going to make it happen. What do you got, Malik?
Listen, man, I got a whole bunch of bets. I'm going to start off with football. I got Kirk Cousins over 1.5 touchdowns. So he has to throw 2 touchdowns. Come on now. He should get that done against the Redskins. Like, you would hope so. Same with bro. I said I was done with prop bets, but I can't get away from them. I got Dalvin Cook anytime touchdown. Like, if this one loses, like,
one of them should win.
One of them, yeah.
They can't both
like,
lose.
Come on, like, I don't know, man. It's been happening to me the past 2 weeks. That's why I got so many now. Then going over to basketball tonight, I got D'Lo over 2.5 threes. He got to hit 3 threes. I feel like you're on the Warriors. You gotta jack up a whole bunch of threes. That's what they love.
It's the culture.
It's the culture, yeah. So I feel like he's gonna hit like 4, maybe 3 or 4. I got Curry over 4.5 threes. It's Curry. I don't really need to say much.
Oh.
You're not feeling that?
You're not feeling that?
I'm not feeling over 2.5 for D'Lo.
Bro, D'Lo's gonna hit like 3 or 4, bro.
I mean, I hope so.
I gotta do something for D'Lo. Like, that's my guy. I wanted to do points, but it was like,
what's his point?
Like 24.5, I think.
Oh man.
You think that's better than the 2.5 threes?
What's his assist, man? Just take the under.
What's the? Oh, I don't know what the assist is.
D'Lo's assist probably like 2 or 3.
Nah, it's probably like 4.
Yeah, he's not really a big assist guy.
I don't know, but I'm straight in the assist. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Curry over 4.5 threes. I got Rockets -1.5. Then going into Sunday football, I got Seahawks money line. There's no spread right now, so I'm just gonna. I just got them. Yeah, I got them winning no matter what. Like, I don't really care. And I got Packers -3.5. I feel bad for going against my Chiefs, but I don't think Mahomes is gonna play. Now, if he does,
bet's off.
Yeah, if he does, the bet's off. The bet's off. Then I got Celtics -2.5. You know, they had a bad first game, but, you know, I'm going to rock with Ty's team. I got Ty's other team, Philly plus 1.5. Nah, I
that's
got
the
so
Eagles.
many
That's
bets,
the
bro.
Eagles,
though.
Oh, no.
Philly
No.
Eagles,
I got
yeah.
Eagles plus 1.5. I'm wrong. Eagles plus 1.5. Bro, I got
that?
so many
Need
bets. All right, I'm gonna just go through. All right, so Philly. After that, I got Philly plus 1.5. Jags minus 6.5. Minnesota, the Timberwolves minus 5.5. The Bulls plus 1. Kings plus 2. Lakers minus 3.
Damn. Kings plus 2.
Bro,
That's
De'Aaron
what
Fox,
he's
boy. Lakers minus 3. And whatever the Philly spread is, I'm taking that.
Sixers.
The Sixers. Whatever their spread
Who the
is,
Sixers play?
They
they
play the Pistons.
they
They
play
play
the
the
Pistons.
Pistons.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, whatever the spread is, I'm taking it. I don't care. And I got Clippers versus the Suns. Whatever that spread is, I'm taking it. There's no
Oh,
spread
man.
now because it didn't happen yet, but I'm looking into the future, man. I gotta get my bets up.
Ty, what are you feeling for today or tomorrow?
All right, so I'm chill tonight, but tomorrow we got two really good bets I'm feeling. I'm feeling Blazers minus 2 against the Kings.
Uh-oh.
Marvin Bagley was just announced
Oh, he's hurt.
for a fourth.
All right.
So they don't got a big. Bagley's not as big as it is for real.
Points?
You
I
won't-
don't.
you
This
won't
team
know tomorrow.
personally, I like this team a lot. I like them last year a lot more though. I don't think they've gotten really better. You know, they lost some players: Harrison Barnes, Buddy, De'Aaron. Come on, the Blazers.
They didn't lose
the Blazers
Buddy.
are on a bad team.
But
I
Buddy's
definitely
just
got
not.
the Blazers 100%.
Bro, Max
over
keeps
the-
saying Buddy Hield is not good.
Buddy
Alright.
Hield's a good player, but that's like he was actually one of the best 3-point shooters last season.
I
Like,
said
period,
that,
on top.
yeah.
Along with Curry and Clay, he's actually one of the best 3-point shooters last year. But
He's-
I don't see
he's
them
not a
beating the
star.
Blazers, man. Let's
I
be
didn't
real.
say
You got
he's a star, I
De'Aaron
said
Fox,
he's
but
good.
You got Dame, CJ.
All right, so yeah.
And then we also got Celtics minus 2.
Wait. Hold on, Ty. Hold on, Ty. I forgot Bagley's hurt, so take away that Kings bet. Just erase that. Yeah, erase that for me.
And what?
Yeah, that Blazers minus 2 is looking like a steal. You never
Yeah.
know, but I think that's a steal. And I got Celtics as well, minus 2.5 against the Raptors. Raptors almost blew it against the Pelicans. They're not a bad team. I think the Celtics we come at home now. We need to get this win coming off the Sixers. You're playing good the first half, like I said, did horrible, and that was poor officiating. So we're gonna be back at home. Hopefully the officials come correct. I think it's gonna be a proper game, but it's gonna be a game for us to win. I don't see how the Raptors are going to beat us unless they beat us with defense because, we don't got too much interior presence. But besides that, I'm taking Celtics 2.5 and Blazers 2.
I like that. I think we're all in agreement on the Celtics. I'm not scared of Fred VanVleet, especially against Marcus Smart, and I'm not really afraid of Siakam either. Siakam didn't look too good. I think Celtics. I mean,
Siakam looked pretty good.
he looked all right. I mean,
Siakam was bugging.
he wasn't looking like the guy worth the money that they paid him. And in the NBA, it's about kind of how much you pay the players. You need those role players to get a check too. But I mean, Ty, I make fun of the Celtics a lot, but I will say when they're at home, they cover the spread. That's something that I know in basketball betting. When they're at home, they play way better. They're like a whole different
I don't know,
team.
bro. Siakam had 34 and 18, 5 assists. Like, that type had a crazy game, if I say so myself.
I mean,
that was a monster game.
well, you got to consider OT though. The full 4 quarters was kind of eh. The overtime, he started getting right, but
Oh my god.
I don't know.
He played 38 minutes. Like, it's still not even a full game.
I don't know. I'm not feeling the Raptors though versus the Celtics. I think
That's
the
a fact.
Celtics win this. That's the Raptors played good. I mean, it was ring ceremony night. They got overtime, luckily, and they barely beat the Pelicans with no Zion. Not feeling that. I think Celtics are a really good bet to me, and the Rockets. I really starting to like those a lot. Rockets I like even more than the Celtics, just because I know the Bucks too well. I know them like the back of my hand. This isn't a game that they win. And then Kev, who is our guest today, he has the Clippers minus 1.5 for tonight's game. So if you're looking for some Clippers Warriors action, our analyst Kev, he's saying that the Clippers got this. But thank you guys for listening. We'll be back on Monday. We'll recap Week 8 of the NFL. I would say we'd preview the Monday night game in the NFL too, but Dolphins-Steelers, I don't know. This is a bad primetime week for the NFL. They took this week off. We'll also talk some NBA news and updates and whatever. And then hopefully the World Series is finished by then. I hope so. I really do, because I don't want to see the Astros win. But, if the World Series is still going on, we'll update that as well. So thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TU SportsPod. You can also listen to us anywhere, SoundCloud, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Just be sure to look us up, Teed Up Sports Podcast. Thank you guys as always for listening. I'm Brock and I'm out.
I'm leaking them out.
I'm tired. I'm out.